Thank you for joining this webinar on assisted reproductive treatment, a guide for family lawyers. My name is Joe Alien. I am a senior associate in the family team at Brabner's. I sit in the specialist children and fertility law team. I will use this webinar to explore some key legal principles which will or should interest family lawyers arising from assisted reproductive treatment. There's a misconception of fertility law as a niche subtopic within the umbrella of family law. That's false. It is a core issue to understand, and it can have a fundamental consequence on a number of broader legal functions. The main legal consequence of assisted reproductive treatment is how it changes the acquisition of legal parenthood. The bulk of this webinar will introduce you to the relevant legislation, enable you to identify the legal parents of a child, which may not be as apparent as it appears at first glance. We will more briefly touch on the law of use and storage of embryos or gametes, and some practical thoughts in respect of surrogacy and co-parenting or known donor arrangements, two of the emerging and popular uses of assisted reproductive treatment in modern families concept. I will start with some important definition of terms, some of the terms that you'll hear us using in this webinar. The first of those is assisted reproductive treatment or assisted reproductive technology. Those two terms can be used interchangeably and may be abbreviated from time to time to ART. Assisted reproduction is the name given to treatments that can help you get pregnant without you having sexual intercourse. That's per the NICE clinical guidelines that will guide the NHS. And I thought that was the best reference point to define what assisted reproductive treatment is. There are many different types. The best known treatment is in vitro fertilization. That's the process of fertilization using gametes mixed in vitro, i.e. outside of a living organism. Another legally relevant method is home insemination, i.e. the use of a DIY equipment to achieve a natural fertilization without sexual intercourse. Turning to legal parenthood, which will be the focus of much of this webinar, there is no codified definition of legal parenthood. Actually, it's a fairly organic legal concept with origins in a time where parenthood was obvious by virtue of fact, because neither science nor society had progressed to a point where the law had to be much more sophisticated than straightforward biology.